If you've never experienced fuel starvation before, then you probably don't drive your car hard enough, or you have a car with an abnormally well-designed gas tank. So what is fuel starvation, how do you know when it's happening, and how do you fix it? So first off, the way that you can tell when fuel starvation is happening is after a long left or right turn, you try to go on throttle and you don't get throttle. The car feels like it died and you have no juice. And then shortly after the car dying, the gas picks up and you can accelerate again. So why is that happening? So if you've ever looked inside your fuel tank on a front engine car, you probably noticed that your fuel pump is on one side of the tank. But your fuel pump is in a basket that can only hold a certain amount of fuel. Now, if you take a long turn left or right, whichever direction shifts the fuel away from your basket towards the other side of the tank, the basket has no fuel to pick up. Now, your car does have some systems in place to fill up the basket even on a long turn, like venturis and siphons, but they're not that strong. So if you're demanding a lot of fuel from your car after a very long turn, moving all the fuel away from the basket, then you're probably going to starve the basket and starve the pump. So this is why you feel like you have no fuel when you try to hit the gas after a turn, because there's no fuel getting sent to your engine because there's none in the basket. Now, of course, the likelihood of this happening depends on your fuel tank design. A lot of rear engine cars that have the fuel tank in the front don't have this like saddle type tank, so they don't have as big of an issue. But some front engine cars don't have this problem either if they were designed more with like motorsport in mind, and it's usually like the modern high performance motorsport cars. I saw that it was like Corvette Z06s, BMW Ms, even the GR86 apparently doesn't have this big of a problem. So they probably have better baffles in place and a stronger venturi from the other side of the tank. So if you do have this problem with your car like I did with my G37, you're probably going to want to fix it because it's going to get really annoying. You're not going to be able to drive your car on track as it gets faster with less than like half of the tank without getting fuel starvation. So there's a couple of ways you can fix it. Number one, like I just said, always run more than half a tank of gas, but that adds a lot of weight and it's annoying. Number two, cut half of your gas tank so the gas can't flow over to the other side. A lot of people do this. But the two more practical solutions are one, installing another fuel pump basket on the other side of your tank so you have twin pumps, and they both feed to the same fuel rail into your engine. And the cheaper option, which is what I did to my G37 but isn't the best option, is to install another pump, just the pump, on the other side of your fuel tank and have it feed fuel into your main pump basket. So inside the tank is a line that goes from your new fuel pump into your main pump basket. And you grab power from your main pump, you just add a power line through your tank into your new pump, and then you like zip tie the new pump to the wall or something. My kit also came with a hydro mat that absorbs all the fuel and keeps it at the bottom of the tank, so even if the fuel sloshes around, I still have some reserve in that mat. But the downsides of this is that now you have lines going across your tank that can interfere with your pump lever arm that will interfere with your fuel tank reading, and this happens to me a lot. And the other issue is if you try to pull out your main pump basket, that power line that's going across your tank kind of stops you from pulling it out so far. So that gets annoying too, but it is much cheaper than having a twin pump basket. Well, that's it. Now you know about fuel starvation. Send this to your buddy who doesn't drive their car hard enough to experience it, but you don't have to tell them that it really only happens when you have stickier tires.